Well, good morning everyone and welcome back to the cabin. The chickens are fed, so what I need to do is I need to make breakfast. I need to go down and start a fire and begin whittling on some more logs because we are almost ready to start setting them. So let's get busy. Well, you know, I was thinking that some people may be wondering, when is he going to start putting all that together? Well, when I get all of these done. This actually, like I've said before, it takes a while in order to do this. I could have probably already been done if I would have framed it like most people would frame today. We're doing something a little bit different here. Being a timber frame, it takes a while to do all of these notches, to do all of the tenons, get them just right, measure twice, cut once, hopefully, and then get them burned, get them oiled, and all that. So, we're getting closer. I've got, I think it's 2 of these left to do. One more of the big 6x10s for the upper floor, and then that's it. Once we get them burned and oiled, we'll be ready to rock and roll. I did have one that I cut up, but it was bowed too bad. I decided not to use it, so that's the reason that I don't have at least one more done. But it can be used for other things. Sometimes if there's a knot down in there, it makes this digging that mortise out just a little bit more difficult. Which this one has one. Well, friends, it's time to get another log, so let's jump in Big John, go down to the bottom of the hill, get it, bring it up here, throw it on the sawmill, and start cutting it up. Well, these are actually the last two beams. I got one going this way, and then I got the center beam, which is going to be this one. I'm going to lay it out and take it up there on the sawmill, make up a little jig where I can cut it with the blade. I actually made some little sheath covers for my hand tools right here to keep the blades protected. I think that they turned out okay. That's what they look like. So I've got many more hand tools to do though, but that will protect those blades inside the box here. Alright, this one has to be 16 feet and 3 inches. So we'll get this marked off. Well folks, I'm going to drop a little public service announcement right here. If you've been watching this channel at any length of time, you'll know that we do monthly giveaways. We not only show what we're going to be giving away, but we also tell you who the winners were and to get in touch with us at our Smoky Mountain Outpost at Gmail account. So if you've received any other kind of message that you're the winner, I know that there are some scams going on, or from any other channel that you may watch. Chances are it is a scam, so I wouldn't follow through with it. We've received several comments ourselves, and I know other people that have channels as well are going through the same thing. So just don't recognize these folks and go on about your business, and just stay tuned to the videos to find out not only what we're giving away but who the winners are. Anyway, that's my little PSA that I just happened to think about because of all the messages that we're getting. Alright, this one's got to be 16 feet and 3 inches. Well, we're actually working on the last one. Well, folks, it rained all night long, and it is an absolute mess outside. So what I've decided to do is to stay inside now and finish this little leather sheath that I started for one of my chisels. Alright, what I did last night, it takes time for this to dry, but I actually used, I've got some thin leather right here, and then of course I've got some thick leather. So what I did was I cut a piece that was a little bit wider than the chisel on the thin leather, and then I cut some very thin strips of the thick leather, and I've actually put them down on the inside. Because what I don't want happening is for this chisel to cut my stitches as I go through. So this kind of gives it something to bump up against. When I actually stitch this, I'll stitch through every bit of that. But anyway, once I get that on there, then that will fit pretty good. So since I let this dry, we're going to go ahead and mark these holes to stitch them. So what I'll do is I'll just take a ruler and kind of go right about where halfway of that big thick leather would be. I'm going to make myself a line so that I know what to stitch on. Okay, so now I've got two lines. They're a little bit difficult to make out, but they're in there. Alright, so then we're going to take this tool right here and we're going to set it on the line. I'm just going to make a mark like so, and then I'll stick this in the last one right there like that, and I'll mark those holes. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now that I have the holes marked, I'm actually going to use a different size, and I'm going to go in there. I'm only going to use one that's 2 because once I punch down through all of that, it's pretty hard to get it out. Just kind of got to work at it. I'm going through a lot of material right there. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of excess here. We're going to trim this off. Got a little bit right here on the edge too. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of a buffing stick right here. I'm actually going to buff these down. Before we start sewing, I'm going to take this awl right here. I'm actually going to run it through each one of these holes and enlarge them. Okay, I've got all of those enlarged. Now what I'm going to do is take my string. I will start on one side, pull it through. I'm just going to leave just a little bit stick out right there. I'm going to take this one, go right through the same hole, come through that side, and again I'll let just a little bit of it stick through. Send this one back through the same hole. Then what I do is I reach back here and grab those and just kind of make those a little bit taut. Alright, so I have come to the end. That looks really good, doesn't it? What I've been doing is going right back through the same hole and stitching backwards on what I just stitched. That will allow me to pull it back in the other direction, get it tight, and then I can cut it off just like I did the other one, and I should have a stitch that will hold, and I won't have to worry about it coming undone. Okay, so that's 4 times. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, trim it off. 1, 2. We'll take our little lighter. We'll burn that. And then this side, same thing. Now, what we've got is we've got a stitch that's basically locked in there, and it's not going to come out. Now, that's what we ended up with. This is one of my favorite chisels. Don't ask me why, but it is one of my favorites. Slide that in there. It's not going to come off. There we go. And that spacer that I put in there just helps to guide this chisel down in there, and it keeps it from actually cutting the threads. Well folks, I hope you enjoyed this little sheath making right here for my chisel while it's nasty outside. Also, hope you're enjoying the timber frame build down there, and if you like that kind of stuff, I'd like to invite you to watch the complete build on the outdoor toilet. I believe that was probably the funnest project because Jennifer and I did some little skits from Mr. Burger in there, and Carl from Sling Blade, and we just had a great time. So I'd like to invite you to watch that. All you got to do is click the icon up there in the top right hand corner. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.